there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Please Advise, which I hope is becoming one of your favorite advice channels. Today, I have with me rap up and coming superstar, Dinero.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Thanks so much for coming today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No, the pleasure is all mine. I promise. I've been checking you out for a while, seeing you online, doing your thing, so I went on ahead and social media stalked you, make sure you was cool to go to bring over to the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to have a conversation with you. Saw you doing other interviews and stuff like that. Saw you had an amazing story to tell, and I just want to jump just a little bit more into it, get to know Dinero just a little bit more than everybody else does, if that's all right with you.
It's perfectly fine.
All right, so just like with everybody else, we will start at the beginning. Are you here from St. Louis?
No. A lot of people say I am. Just the way I was brought up. Like I always tell people, I grew up in foster care. So I was born in Knoxville, Tennessee. You know, moms wasn't feeling it, whatever. Took me to Texas, and from Texas to East St. Louis, from East St. Louis to here.
Okay, so you're transplanting.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's still a lot of people that might just be like, oh, she from St. Louis. I still get, like, when people post me, they be like, St. Louis artist. And then when other people post me, East St. Louis, and then my people in Texas, they be like, Texas. My people back at home, my family screaming, yeah, she from Tennessee.
She from Tennessee,
from Knoxville.
right?
So I just let them say what they say.
You just let them say what they say.
Because it's support, so.
Exactly, and we will take support in any way that is given. So for me, when I like to consider, I guess, where I'm from, I would consider where you from is where you spent, like, from 7th grade to where you graduated high school, because I feel like those are the formative years. So where do you spend those years?
I would say East St. Louis.
Okay, I'm gonna say you from East St. Louis then.
Yeah.
All right, so you say you moved around a lot as a child, from Tennessee originally, then to Texas. You said Dallas, didn't you? Houston. Okay, and then East St. Louis, and then here. So, do you remember those moves, or are those just things like people told you?
I remember flashes of them. Like, I don't initially remember Tennessee.
Okay.
As soon as I was born, from stories that I've been told, my mom took me to Texas probably when I was like 4 days old.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
So I was just born there.
Right.
I'm like, I couldn't name a street, nothing. So, but they always, yeah, you from here, and you know, once you do really like get out there on the scene, they're gonna say I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, because that's where I was born.
Because that's where you was born, right?
But so 4th I went to Texas up until like 5th grade.
Okay.
And then from East St. Louis to 5th grade till I graduated. Did a year of college, been in the military, like, just it goes from there.
It goes from there. Yeah, East St. Louis. You're definitely from East St. Louis. So Houston, Texas. I know you were very young at that time, but tell me about what, or I guess, can you tell me like some differences from coming from, you know, the big city of Houston to East St. Louis?
I mean, once I did come to East St. Louis from Texas, I still was going back to Texas.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I wasn't here straight from 5th grade to high school. I was still going back and forth, you know, just due to my life situations. But it's a big difference. I really never, of course, pushed my music career there, but it was a lot of support there. And that's initially where I started with like getting in my first booth, and I just had friends, and they was like, you know, just hop in the booth with us. It started with me playing. Then I'm like, nah, man, I just do poetry. I was so shy.
Really?
I didn't even want to record in front of people. I'm like, nah, I just sit in the room, write in my notebook. But the support to me is real major, real big down there.
And you talking about down in Houston?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you graduate high school?
East Side.
East St. Louis. Yeah. All right. What was high school like for Dinero? Were you Dinero? Oh, you know what?
No.
I always forget this question.
They used to call me Chelsea the Reindeer Nelson, because I ran track. I got national championships, state championships, all of it.
That's what's up.
Played basketball. I was very active.
Very active and athletic.
Yeah. But I don't know, like back then, you know, a lot of people didn't know what I was going through at home, so to them, you know, hey, she just out here getting it. To me, sports was an outlet. Then it was for me to take away from the things I was going through at home.
Yeah.
But initially, if my home life was better, I probably would never did sports.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and only because you brought it up.
Right.
When you say if your home life was better, you would. So, are you saying you just did the sports? I know you said as an outlet, but was it also like, let me find something to do at the school so I don't have to go home?
Yes. But at that time, a lot of people didn't know that. You know, just going through, you know, abusive situations because from Texas, the reason why I came to East St. Louis, Illinois in the first place was because I ended up in foster care. My mom lost custody of me, my brother, and my sister. So she battled, you know, with addiction her whole life. Like, you know, a lot of people don't say that part, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And that's how I got there. And when I got there, like, I ended up living with a man that wasn't even my dad, but he took on me, his daughter, which is my sister, and my other brother. And he said he wanted to keep us all together, and it just went from there. It was horrible, though.
It was horrible.
The bright side was my sports. That's all I had. That was, you know, like you said, I don't want to go home, but
yeah,
it went from there. And even with me finding the courage to tell certain people what was going on, they just turned their back on me. My coaches, they didn't want to.
Really?
Yes.
And they supposed to be the ones that you would think you can express these things to, you know.
And I ain't never said this before. Like, he's a big coach in the city, Coach Nino Fenoy. Yeah. He's crazy. Like the biggest coach in East St. Louis. And I reached out to him personally, told him face to face. All he said was, "Oh, I'm going to talk to him about it." Send me back home. It didn't stop. Like, I was constantly reaching out for help.
I don't want to. Do you think he probably did reach out and the message just didn't hit?
Nah.
No, you just think he just heard what you said. And,
you know, when I got back home, it was, "Oh, you telling your coaches on me?" Like, this all coming from my sister, dad. It didn't stop. So that kind of shied me away from sports, like my 11th grade year.
Yeah.
And it messed me up mentally, because I'm like, I'm already still a child, and I'm sitting here reaching out to people, and y'all just turning y'all back on me.
That's crazy. And like you said, discouraging.
I ain't never told this before, so
I'm getting the exclusives already.
Yeah.
But and I just said that just to kind of be funny, not to at all make light of your situation.
Good. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, but you done turned this conversation.
My bad.
No. This is good. Because I do want to talk just a little bit more about that. When you say so did you only reach out to the coach, or were you?
I went to the school counselor, and it was more so at that time, like when I first went to my school counselor, I was just so terrified. I'm like, oh man, like I just didn't know what to do because I ain't had no family.
Because your mama, because she had lost custody, which that's what. Oh, okay.
So I'm like, man, I'm gonna go back in foster care.
Yeah, nobody wants to go through that.
No.
So, were you in foster care? I guess in St.
he was
Louis?
still he was a foster parent to me. Like, he didn't adopt me or anything. I was still in foster care. It was just I was living with my sister's dad. And at this time, by that time when I did start reaching out to people for help, my brother, one of my brothers, he had already went back to Texas to look for my mom. And then my sister, she actually had moved out with her best friend. So
it was just you. Yeah,
and another brother, but me and him, we don't see eye to eye either because he just like his dad.
And that's his daddy.
Yeah. So I kind of was just left there. Like, I was left in Texas, then when I got there, left there, and it's just crazy, man. I've been through a lot.
Just that fast.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna try to relate the story of, because when you started the story of saying that he took y'all together, I was like, oh, okay, that's so
right.
commendable.
Yeah.
And I was gonna comment that I kind of feel that's how I was raised. I had a different daddy than the rest of my brothers and sisters, but he never treated me any different. So I thought that's where you was going. So that's where I was gonna go, but I didn't.
I battled with a lot. A lot of the initial abuse started because of my sexuality.
Physical abuse?
Yes. And it was always because, you're gay. And a lot of people just didn't know what I would battle. And I would go out there on that track and get first place. I would go out there in basketball and win the game.
Yeah.
But...
And they thought you was an all-star athlete, not knowing that that's how you was escaping.
Because I ain't had time to write.
Right.
But when I was in foster care, prior to moving to East St. Louis, is when I did start my poetry. I started a journal, and I just would write my feelings because I just feel nobody ever understood me. Because I used to run away from the foster homes, everything, and they end up putting me in like a psych ward and stuff, trying to dope me up on medicine, all type of stuff. And I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just hurt.
Yeah.
Like, y'all trying to force, all this medicine on me. I'm just hurt. I'm out here looking for my mama. At this time, I'm like 6, 7, 8.
Young.
I know.
Thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah.
It is a lot, and I don't even want to dig no further into that. But I will ask. Okay, so you said it was 3 of y'all, you, your brother, and sister.
Yeah, with my mom at the time.
Okay.
And then I had another brother that was already in East St. Louis with the dad.
With the dad.
Yeah, him and my sister shared fathers.
Okay. The older brother. How much older than you?
He's probably like 5, 6 years.
Okay, so when you were, I guess, in high school with the father, that's when he was already grown.
Yeah, for the most part. I think my brother probably was like 15, 16.
Okay.
But he was abusing all of us at first.
What?
And yeah.
And I only ask this question because I am, 1, intrigued, and 2, I've never been in a situation to ask somebody this question. So was it like a triggering thing, or like, I know you said he abused you because of your sexuality, but with the others, do you think it was just something that like was wrong with him, or and this may even be a question that's too big for you?
Right. Oh no, we it's okay. Honestly, just from me growing up out of the situation and trying to look back on it and try to figure that out myself.
Yeah.
I would say simply because he didn't like that my mom left him. And my sister looked just like my mama. And I'm not even his child. And then my oldest brother not. And I feel like he just took a lot of anger out on us.
I hate that that happened to you. I really do. I hate that happens to anybody, but I feel like I know you, and I hate that happened to you.
Yeah, I do. You just never know what the next person going through.
It's true.
I'm just blessed to get through it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Now you did bring up your sexuality, so I assume you knew at a young age that.
My mama knew.
Okay.
My mama knew. Like, I came out to her when I was like 18. She was like, I already knew since you was a baby. I'm like, oh. But that's, I don't know. I watch a lot of movies, and when people do that, and like the Medea movie, it's like when a lot of people do that and we be so scared and this and that, they already know. They just, like you said, they want us to be comfortable when it comes to that. So yeah, my mom already knew. She was like, I love you no matter what. And then when I ended up getting in contact with my dad, like when I turned like 25, I ended up finding my dad back in Tennessee. Same thing. Oh baby, I love you no matter what. I'm like, oh, now I don't care about nothing. Nothing. Cause you want acceptance from somewhere, and my parents were the main two. Like, and I'm like, man, my parents accept me, so I don't care.
At that point, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if my story is the same. I grew up, I was the oldest of 7 kids and all this and all of that, so I always felt like I had to be the oldest son, you know what I mean? So although I damn sure knew I was gay growing up, but I repressed it or whatnot. I dated women, I ended up getting married, had a child, yada yada yada. And then some time into our marriage, I think the curiosity like literally got the best of me. So I, experimented and whatnot, and I from the first time I knew right then and there, you know what I mean? And I don't even say, and I'm not even talking about like the sex, but like the first time I was actually able to be, I guess,
just
intimate.
yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes. But I say that to say this. I was kind of forced out of the closet. Of course, she found out and told everybody, yada, yada, but I don't want to go into that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I don't think, like my sisters and brothers, they all said that phrase, we love you no matter what. Because I feel like that's such an important phrase for us to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Because although we may assume it's 100% different when they say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, all my brothers and sisters and extended family and all of them have said it, but I don't think my mama has ever said, even to this day, today, and this was 05, 06-ish when, I came out or whatnot, but I don't even think to this, like, she tells me she loves me, yes, but when that whole thing broke, I don't think she ever said it, or to this day has even said it, I love you no matter what. She just says, I love you. But when I finally ran into my daddy and found him and told him, he said it, like, immediately.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if there's, I did not mean to go there.
Hey, we talking.
We talking. I done got triggered just that quick.
I was finna say yes.
Yeah, I might have a talk with her about that. But anyway, enough of that. So you come through high school, you graduate high school. So once you graduate high school, what is life for? And that's what I still forgot to ask you. How did you come up with the name Red Dinero? Because I assume that's not your government.
No. My dad's nickname is Red, and I feel like just not, growing up without him, it really made me who I was. So, and I look just like him. All this time I'm like, well, I don't look like my mama. But him and my mom, like, for real created me because they wasn't really there. So I got Dinero because my mom always a hustler. So
okay.
And Red because they call my dad Red. I just put it together.
Red Dinero.
Yeah. So,
a tribute.
Yep, most definitely.
All right, so back to graduating high school. You graduate high school, you walk across the stage. What are you doing then?
Pregnant.
Really?
Yes.
But I
thought you it all occurred.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Since you brought it up. Okay, so I'm listening.
All right, so like my 11th grade year, once I did reach out to my coach and nothing happened, end up moving because of the situation at the house. So we actually end up moving into a different place, and still, I'm still with him by myself.
Yeah.
Even though my older brother is their second oldest brother, but like I said, he was kind of a reflection of his dad because he grew up with him. I ended up running away because he ended up like choking me so bad, and I passed out, and like I was black, everything. And I still ended up going to school the next day, and I lied to them like, hey, I got jumped.
Yeah.
Because that's just how scared at that point I was. Because I'm like, man, I already came to y'all. Y'all ain't do nothing.
Y'all ain't do nothing. So if I come to you, yeah.
So I ended up running away, living with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. And she introduced me to this guy. After I already told her what it was, she hit me with that, you just never know. And
one thing led to another. Okay.
I was 17, so we were both young. He didn't, want a baby, and I'm like, I don't believe in abortion, so I killed my baby. And to this day, that's my heart, man. That's my soul.
Yes.
Like, she pushed me every day, so.
I love that. Yep. Is that your only one?
Yep.
Okay.
Only one.
All right, so 18-year-old pregnant girl graduates high school. Because you was pregnant still in school, so you graduated pregnant, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, so continue.
I had her that following May of graduation. And I went to SWIC. I ended up going to school still, still trying to make something of myself because of statistics.
Yes.
College just wasn't for me. I couldn't just sit there and just I wasn't into just sitting there and being in them books anymore, because I mean, they only can teach you so much. Like, I feel like you really got to get out and experience life to know.
Yeah. So
then I ended up doing a year in the military.
Okay. Thank you for your service. What branch did you go into?
I was in the Army.
Okay.
92 Foxtrot. That's a petroleum supply specialist. Fuel tanks.
Okay.
So, I completed that, and I'm like, that ain't for me either. But I completed it.
Yeah. What took you there?
Something different. Like, I feel like my whole life I've been searching for something different, because I really was closed in. And it's like, now I'm graduated, I really ain't got nobody tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You know, mommy not here, daddy not here, nobody for real. So I just wanted to see where life took me. I learned a lot. And
I'm sure.
Yeah. I learned a lot and I applied a lot. So when I got back, I was able to get a good job, you know. Kicked off in management. Like, that paperwork talk. Yeah.
Listen, I served in the military too. I was in the Navy, but it is such a difference when, you know, they find out that you was in the military. Like, they whole demeanor change. So it's like you could walk in there and be like, "Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna get it," but once you tell them you was in the military, they like, "Oh," and you just feel like you got the job automatically all the time.
For real.
Yeah.
So I mean, it went from there, and that's when I started traveling back and forth. More from Texas and here, because that's when I had got back in contact with my mom. So I would be in Texas for a while and come back.
What was that like? And you don't have to go into extreme detail, but especially after the gap.
I loved it. By this time I knew my mama's story. I never judged my mama.
Yeah. Right.
And I found out why she did move to Texas, because everybody judged her and pushed her away. So it's like, that's why, you know, I do want to bring awareness to depression.
Okay.
Because, you know, certain things that she was going through at the time, her kids didn't have to suffer if family really, like, support each other. Like, y'all knew she was sick. To me, it's a sickness.
Depression is a sickness.
It's a sickness. Yeah. And then nobody want to deal with it. So it's like, when I look at my life, I'm like, man, they kind of did me the same way as my mama. Like, I look into all of that, but she would always tell me I'm her golden child. And before she passed, you know, I got that phone call and I heard in her voice that she was sad. And she told me again, "You my golden child." She was like, "You gonna make it." Yeah. Took off from there, man. That's when I got serious with my music, cause, you know, sadly she passed like a week later. From telling me that. I'm sorry. And that's part of my drive. Yeah. She is my drive.
When y'all will have these talks after y'all, I guess, I don't even want to use the term reconciled, I'll use your term, after you know, found her again. Did y'all have talks about, you know, what, I guess, types of depression she was experiencing, or?
Yeah, because I was experiencing it too. You know, we really related to a lot. And, you know, we got some conversations that, you know, I never speak on. Obviously. But my mom went through, you know, more than me. So, yeah, she battled with a lot when it comes to depression and everything as well. So, like I said, I just try to bring awareness to it, because I done had my moments and I know other people go through it. And I don't want us, you know, out here losing family members just because we can't call them. Yeah. And for have a minute combo, like, "Hey, you okay?" That's all it take, a minute to save a life.
I've been in some I ain't even gonna say in those situations, but I've been in some moods where I have definitely needed 3 minutes of somebody's ear. Yeah. You know, no judgment. You ain't even really got to say nothing back. Just hear what I'm saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can understand the importance of that, especially if somebody is suffering through depression. Like, it's 1,000 times more needed. Right. Yeah.
But we automatically click. I ain't have no problem. I ain't loving no different. Yeah. Nothing. And it's weird because I ain't trying to be biased, but when it come to my dad, I kind of like, like, I don't really connect with him because he's been doing great.
He has no excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse. And not saying that, what your mother went through was an excuse, but it is a situation that you can understand how, she made certain choices.
Right.
But when you look at somebody else's who has, in your eyes, had no real complications, you know what I mean? So,
like to this day, they on the internet. Once I reached out and found everybody, they partying, kicking it, brand new cars, big cribs.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, that's how I feel. And I'm going through that, letting that go, so I could continue to grow. You gotta let that go.
You do have to let that go.
I'm so damaged from a lot in my life. I just constantly, the more I let go, the more I grow, and that's one thing that I'm still struggling to let go, that I went through all this and y'all in fat cribs, brand new cars, flashing money every day. But when you do call me every blue moon, buy me a car when you get rich. That's serious.
Stop it.
I lie to you now, I swear to God. And I don't understand. I feel like that it's just manipulation at its best.
I don't understand how a person could have the gall
and still ain't had that conversation with me. The one that you say that I have with my mom, we had it.
Yeah.
My dad still ain't had that conversation with me. So I kind of look at him differently.
I would too. Like when I finally met up with my daddy or whatnot, and we kind of talked about where he was. I understood. Like you said, you understood. I understood.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I am okay. I'm just gonna wash it under the bridge. Understood, but I understood. As a grown up, I understood.
Yeah.
As a child, I would never have understood. You know what I mean?
It's like it's a closed door on that side. It's like still a question mark.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be like that. And he's been back in my life probably for like at least 5 years now.
But you can't help but to keep that arm's length though.
It still hurt though, cause it's like, come on, man.
Come on,
like
man.
you my only parent love, and you still don't care. Now see another reason why my mom left. And just with that situation got messy because he was actually married. Yeah, so he kind of, I don't know if he stepped out or they was in a break or whatever. All I know is my dad was married and had me. So
that's a whole nother
layer. It just trickled down. Like as I'm getting older, I'm getting told all of this, and I'm like, oh, okay. So when I was going through this and that, I'm just connecting pieces of my life to find out who I am.
Yeah,
that's all. I don't know, and when I do know, like I said, it just helped me figure out who I am more, and I put it in my music.
Let's go ahead and talk about music. Yes. So earlier you said that you had started jumping in the studio and stuff like that. So when did you, I guess, realize that music is what I want to do?
I kind of was iffy about it, like I said, when Moms was here. But after having that conversation with her and I lost her, that's what pushed me.
Yeah.
It was like, she ain't telling me this for no reason. She is not constantly reminding me that I'm this, I'm that. And that was about 4 years ago, and I got serious with it. But even then, I still was trying to balance life, because it's a lot to balance a career with your family life. And by this time, I was in a serious relationship. And me and her at the time, we were raising our daughter together. And it was rocky because I'm like, man, I'm trying to take off in this career.
Yeah.
I ended up trying to go to the Nelly Institute school, still working. And then my girl at the time, she was in college. Then we still got a little one we raised in that's in elementary. Yeah. It was just real hectic. So,
I can imagine.
Yeah, it kind of broke my family apart. And I could say about 2 years ago is when I really just, that fire got put under me when I met Sha, for real. Like, I was still going hard, but when I met her, it just took off.
Tell me about that.
I met my manager through an old friend of mine. I call him a friend, my old promoter.
Okay.
He's actually my sister's husband. But we was just chilling one day, and he was like, hey, Red, you want to slide with me to this place? I'm like, what place? And he was like, right, so what place, man? You taking me out the crib? So what place? He was like, oh, it's a video shoot. I ain't never been to another artist video shoot before. Okay. So I was excited about that. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to see how other people run things.
Yeah.
And when we got there, their manager was Shy. She goes, her management company, Shy Lights Management. Mm-hmm. It's my manager now. And she was just in there supporting her artist, doing her thing. Wasn't paying me no attention. Nobody, for real. James, hey, Shy, what's up? She working.
Yeah.
So as things start to calm down, me and her didn't know each other, anything. And I introduced myself. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Red Dinero. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I heard of you. And it went from there.
Really?
Like, yep. And everybody thought my promoter at the time was my manager. Mm-hmm. So, I say 2 weeks later, because we ended up, exchanging info.
Yeah.
As I'm seeing her work, I'm like, man, I need a manager. Now I'm telling my friends and people now, because I saw what she was doing with them.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't have that kind of engagement with me. I mean, yeah, I got a promoter, but that's a whole nother ballgame having a manager.
Correct.
And I'm like, man, I need that I felt I really needed that. Mm-hmm. And I ended up reaching out to her, and we discussed some things, and of course she was like, hey, I thought James was your manager. I'm like, nah, he's just a promoter. And I say a month later, we actually met again business wise, signed that paper, and it's been A1 ever since.
Really?
Yes, I've done nothing but grow. And man, it's amazing. That lights me up right there.
I see it in your face.
Yeah, she don't look, she don't know. She just don't know. She really changed my life.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how, I guess, the struggle was before Shy versus after Shy.
I say just reaching out more. She's when I say she about her business, she reminds me a lot of my mom in that aspect. Because like I said, my mom was a go-getter no matter what.
Yeah.
She was raising 3 kids by herself, still doing it. But she just got that go-getter mentality. Like if I be like, hey, Sha, I want to have 4 interviews in the next 2 weeks. She gonna make it happen. She's gonna reach out to whoever, or vice versa. Now, more people are reaching out to us.
Yes.
But at the beginning, she was just making it happen. Then she was like, you just gotta stay consistent, and I got you. So I look at her like family, for real. I tell her all the time, shoot, you kind of a mentor to me. That's how close we done got. And yeah, she just make it happen.
I love that. I do.
I can't really speak for no other artists because I put in my work behind it. So my relationship with her, if she say, hey, Red, I need you to do this, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
No matter what, no excuses. I'm gonna make it happen because I know she gonna make certain things happen for me. And that's just how we move. And we both Virgos.
So sick of y'all Virgos, but what I can say, because I'm dating a Virgo, so what I can say about Virgos are, yes, y'all are very business oriented. Once y'all stick y'all man to something, y'all go get it. So all of those, every Virgo I know, almost every Virgo I know, that is true about. So I give y'all that. I will give y'all that.
We click off of that alone.
So what was, I guess, your first, I probably asked this in the wrong order, and this is probably going back before Shy.
Okay.
What was your first, I guess, performance that you can remember, or as Red Dinero?
Oh man, it was at a club in St. Louis. And I tell this story a lot to upcoming artists.
Yeah.
Because I previously, a month ago, just opened up for Big Boogie, and it was sold out thousands.
We was gonna get there. We was getting there.
Yeah. So everybody always approached me on that. I'm like, man, y'all don't know where I came from.
Yeah.
My first show I performed, it was 2 people in the crowd. And I was so nervous, I was throwing up.
For the two people.
For the 2 people, I swear, I had to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm just nauseous. I'm just so scared because I never been in the public's eye like that. Like, I know this would come with it, but, you know, just from my situation in my past, that's never been me.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, man, I get the spotlight now. I get to talk now. So that's how I look at a lot of this. Oh, I get to talk now. I get to be heard now. So that's why I express a lot in my music, because I'm finally getting heard. So it's like, dang. But, you know, yeah, I was nervous. I had my sister there and my brother, and I think her husband, which was my promoter at the time, and one of my best friends. So I had 4 supporters and 2 people actually in the crowd that I didn't know. And then we had the DJ and the club promoter. It's like an open mic night.
That's a light crowd.
Yeah. And I was up there nervous.
Really?
Yes. Like, it was my first time ever speaking on a microphone. All of this.
Like you was a sports star in high school.
But it's different. It was just different.
Yeah.
Like, out there, you know, I'm running. I'm on that stage, I'm by myself. I don't really like too many people on the stage with me. Okay. So that's another thing. I was up there by myself, and I had full attention. And it wasn't really, nothing
else going on to distract nobody. So,
right. So I'm like, dang. So I got y'all just like how we are now. And first time, like, oh man.
Yeah.
And it went from there. After that, next show I had open for it was a real big show. What's his name? Blue, Young Blue, something Blue. His name was I think Young Blue at the time, Boosie artist. I don't know if you even know him by name, but yeah, it was Boosie upcoming artist.
Okay.
And his show was sold out. And then, you know, by that time, since there was a big show, everybody wanted to pop out for me.
Yeah, because you was there.
Yeah.
You had arrived.
We had VIP, everything. This is my second show.
Wait, you did just say that.
Yeah.
So you went from 2 people to, I'm assuming, probably a couple hundred people?
Yeah, it was probably like 300.
Okay, so how was the nerves from the first one to the second one?
I was lit this time.
Yeah, because you knew what to do this time, yeah.
And then I knew it was going to be a bigger crowd. And
yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I had my little drink in my system. I was vibing. And then I had everybody on stage with me. This is how I figured out that I don't like it.
That you will have to go through something to know you don't like it.
So now when I perform, I'm the only person on stage.
Yeah.
So I had my cousin up there, my other cousin, my friend, they all up there with the camera lit with the bottles.
Yeah.
At this point, I can't even focus.
Because there's so much going on.
Much going on around me.
Right.
And I'm like,
and they pulling focus from you.
Yeah. So I'm up there, I ain't gonna lie, I adapted. You know, I'm up there shaking.
You're a superstar, of course you
I
adapted.
adapted to it, but I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all, so.
Do you think it's better with smaller crowds or larger crowds? To you?
I feel like it depends on the type of show it is. Because I've performed at UMSL before in front of like 30 people. And I like that. And I also didn't bring no club music. I brought something that they gonna pay attention to.
Yeah.
So, but as far as like how I just opened up for Boogie, I brought club music, so I really wasn't caring about people paying too much attention to me.
It was all
everybody
about the
in there lit anyway, jumping up and down.
Right.
So I knew they wasn't really gonna grasp to me trying to send out a message per se. So yeah, it depends on the type of event it is.
Okay, so I want to ask a question. How do you go from 6 people to Big Boogie?
Go hard or go home. That's like me. Look, I went from college to the military. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like you gonna go big or go home. So
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't keep doing those little talent shows and them open mics
Yeah.
with, you know, not getting the crowd. So I'm like, I gotta do something. And a lot of people remember me from that show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I already knew you before that, but
I was fairly new. Oh, I'm talking about the Blue Show, my second show.
Oh, okay,
years ago, I was fairly new. So the fact that they didn't know me made them know me. Because they like, dang, who this random artist up here with all these other artists that we know?
Yeah.
So that made me stand out. I kind of like strategically planned things. So I'm like, if they not gonna come out because they don't know me, why not get on the stage with people they do know? So I stand out.
Feed off that. Yeah.
Yep. And from there, I was getting a lot of different shows.
So as far as navigating, I guess, the music scene, I guess it's probably a lot easier now because you got shy.
Right.
But in the beginning, tell me about, I guess, some of the challenges of, you know, being a young black female, you know, trying to break into it.
It was hard. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere. Like, even me trying to reach out to people myself, like I said, because she got a lot of connections. You know, she a businesswoman. Right. Like, I didn't have no connects. So I would try to reach out even as far as DJs. They'll leave me on red. So, because, you know, I don't know, I guess a lot of people didn't take me serious. So I feel like to be taken serious, you gotta have what the other people got. So I'm like, shit, I ain't got no manager, so for one, I'm probably reaching out to them the wrong way. She reach out, it's email. I'm inboxing. So, you know, that's a big difference right there.
I want to speak to that point right there. Emails versus inboxes. Like, okay, so when I reach out to people, initially I reach out to them via their social media because that's normally how I found them. And two, I found out that's normally how they initially communicate with people. So I reach out through social media initially, hey, I want to invite you on the show, yada, yada. We have that conversation. Once they say, yes, I will come. Now, the situation was different with you, of course, because you got shy. But once they agree to come, I always ask them, send me your email address, and you know, so I can send you an official welcome. And they all know I will send you an official welcome email.
Right.
So you don't know how many times it will be a week before we supposed to film, and I reach out, I'm like, hey, we still good, you know, whatever. Right. And they like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, you didn't respond to the email. Oh, I didn't know you sent the email. Just you did, because I asked for your email address. Or they'll be like, oh, I didn't know it was nothing in there you needed. Yes, you did, because I said I'm sending you an email. It's some information I need. Like, I just feel like people have really lost that part of it. Like, but there are some who will receive the email and they always say, oh, it's so professional, yada, yada, yada. To me, I don't feel like it's a point of professionalism. Like you said, you have to set a standard. You have to set a standard. And again, nobody else is going to take you any more serious than you take yourself. Right. So I feel like if I'm steady just jumping in inboxes as Tim, you know what I mean? Please Advise is like this separate entity. So once I can establish a connection between you and Please Advise, that's how we talk. Because I need you to understand that I am Please Advise, not just Tim. Right. You know what I mean? But it always gets disconnected though. I hate that. I hate that.
I still go through that today. And on my Facebook, I got for all, you know, contact info or whatever, email address with our business number. That's
where I hit up.
Yeah. And they still inbox me, and I don't say it to be mean, but it really don't get checked because I got so much in my inbox. I got random people, hey, I love your music. You know, it's just so much in that inbox. Right. And for me to just try to take the time out and check all of my inboxes, from Facebook inboxes to Instagram DMs, it's hectic. Yeah. It's really hectic because I'm trying to skip over the nonsense. And then just skip over just a lot of stuff, and it's just hard to really pinpoint who really serious and who not. And I feel like I love the way you contacted us. When she said email, I'm like, oh wow, because it's different. Like, we don't really get that. People still jump in my inbox, and then I'll be like, hey, contact the number on my page. I say if 10 people do that, only probably 2 actually hit her up. And that just, it puts you aside. Like, hey, if you really ain't about this business, it just puts people, it separates them. It does. And not to even try to talk down on nobody or try to, you know, but like you said, it does. You have to set a standard. If I don't set a standard, how can I expect you to go along with anything I got going on? You know what I mean? Like, I ask people, what color t-shirt you want? Like, you... Right.
It's not about me. It's not about me.
I'm down with a lot of that though. Like,
it's not about me, but
even me trying to, even me like now getting paid for my craft. Mm-hmm. Most of my paid features are from out of state. Mm. Everybody else, oh, I'm your cousin. Oh, I'm your homeboy. We went to school together. This is my job.
This is my real life.
This is my life. Like, you want some of my time.
And talent.
And talent. Like, you don't know how much hard work I put into this.
Right. Like, yeah, you want a feature, but that means I have to sit down. I have to listen to your music. I have to write something of my own. I have to fit the vibe you got.
I do.
We got to record it. Like, it's a whole process.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. So
then you come with the back end of everything that come with me. It's going to get promoted. It's going to do the numbers that I'm doing now. Everything. And I still have people, I ain't paying you. Or I had you my cousin. Or I had okay, all right. And I just want to let it be known it's not for me to be any type of way, which I honestly wouldn't care if it made people feel any type of way. Because like I said, it's my job. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's my job. Like, you want some of my time. Like, I got a family too. You know. Yeah. I still got my 9 to 5. Look, I'm here now.
You are.
Right. So it kinda. At first, it used to like hurt my feelings a little bit, and that's another thing with this. You can't have no feelings. So with me coming from that background, I always feeling.
Yeah.
And being that way, that's gone.
That's gone. Now it's just.
Oh, you don't want to pay?
Yeah.
I see you at the top, and that price gonna be different because with growth, your money grows. Correct. Bosses get paid more than associates, regular associates. So
say it again.
Say like, then they really gonna be mad. Oh, she thinks she too much. No, we're not. No.
Why do people? I don't even want to say people. Why does society? When did it become negative for you to be
grow,
to want more, to want to be better? It's not that I think I am better, it's that I want to be better.
Yes.
And why is that wrong? Why is it wrong of me to expect?
Right, like, why is it wrong for me to just want more?
Like for you, why is it wrong for you to want to get paid for your time? Mm-hmm. Why? How are you doing too much by asking for a fee?
I don't know.
I mean, you wouldn't walk up to Lil Baby like, hey, let me get a feature, I'm your cousin. His mama couldn't even get a feature from him. Like, and you know, not to compare you to him, but I'm just saying, it don't matter who you go to. If that's their time and they talent and they craft, pay people for their time.
You go to the barbershop, pay him for the cut. You ain't even got to know the barber.
You ain't got to know him. You just sit in the chair, and you pay.
Like anywhere else.
It's transactional.
You go and buy some candy, you don't even know who made it. Like, come on, man. But it kind of used to make me think people thought of me that low, though. Because it's like, you know, just from comparing that, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But I get, like you said, you have to grow to understand that it's not me. Yeah. It's your fucked up mentality about me or what I'm trying to do. So and like you said, as you grow, you learn things, and you, I hate to say it that way, but you build those defenses against that type of stuff. Right. So I don't get it to the point you get it because you're a superstar, but I can understand. I can understand. So tell me, I guess, about like what's going on now, and I don't even want to say. Yes, professionally, but like, what's a typical day, I guess, in the life of Red Dinero?
So
when you don't have a show,
9 times out of 10, whether it's a work day or off day, I wake up to that text or that call from the management, like, "Hey, you got this week." That's what I wake up to
every day. Like,
she is on my butt, so. Even today, she reminded me all week, every day, you got this to do. Like, you got this to do. Yeah. Like, okay, I got you, I'm going to be there. But, honestly, it do start with that. But, after that, you know, I kind of just balance everything out now. So, like I said, it's easier. It's easier. I had to grow to figure some things out and see what works for me and what don't.
Absolutely.
So, sometimes, we got that cutoff time, like on Sundays. I don't like to do anything on Sundays. And unfortunately, now that I got a new job, I have to work on Sundays, so I put my foot in my mouth. But other than that, like prior to me having to work on Sundays, everybody know don't hit me up on no Sunday about nothing.
You ain't doing nothing.
Nothing. I'm relaxing. I'm taking a breather. I'm just getting myself back together, and that's time with my family. Like no distractions. We might want to go to dinner, watch a movie. Like I don't want to hear nothing. I'm with my family. So
any hobbies?
Now, no, not really.
No time.
I really don't. I'm trying to find time to work out. So that's how booked I am. Yeah, like from work to family.
I ain't nowhere else to go.
It ain't.
Yeah. Okay, so on that, I guess, professional note, what is going on for you in the, not too distant immediate future?
Okay, so tomorrow's the 1st, right? So
don't talk about May or June.
Yeah.
Do you know that far ahead?
I know at least, I think now like 5 months booked up.
Oh, okay.
When I say I'm booked, I'm booked.
Any big things you want to share with us? We can look forward to?
I don't know. If I ain't put no flyer out about it, then I don't know if she want me to put it out there. Yeah, that's management.
Okay. But you do know you are booked.
Oh yeah. I got some big man.
Okay, so but I know what you can talk about.
Good.
Them awards that's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So why don't you tell everybody, I guess, about that?
All right. So I'm running for Female Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Female R&B Artist of the Year, and Single of the Year. So this is actually my first award show, and my first time ever being nominated. So I'm excited. I'm excited, and I don't know, man. Like sometimes I can't really describe, the feeling that I get, because it honestly feels so good. It's like it's good to have a burst of good energy. So now I thrive off of that. I thrive off of just good energy, and I'm excited. So I hope a lot of people. I hope you still come. I hope you're able to make it.
I am. Listen, as long as I don't have to work that way, it's a weekend, so I won't have to work. But as long as it's not nothing else significant in my life going on, I will definitely be there. I will definitely be there. I want to talk about, what does Red Dinero see for her? And I'm even gonna say immediate future. Let's say the next 5 to 7 to 10 years.
Of course, I see myself with that money.
Yeah.
But besides that, I want to start speaking more at like, I don't know if I should call it like events or anything, but I really just want to keep bringing awareness to a lot of things. So like, what's like an
advocate?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to give back to the community when I can.
Yeah.
Without getting shot. Goodness. Because I don't know. I don't even want to,
but yeah.
It don't even make sense. But
crazy.
No, that's
damn
why
if you do, damn if you don't. And it be your own fucking people. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
It be your own people.
Yeah. Don't even, man. So, I knock on wood and pray about that every day.
Right.
I see myself in the long run, besides music, I just really want to write music. Like I said, I really never wanted the limelight. It just came with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a process. And in the long run, I'm going to be a writer. And I want to sign my own artists and go from there. So
that's what's up.
It's my stepping stone.
So I when I ask questions, I ask out of order and I jump back and forth. So I do want to talk about the writing a little bit more, especially since you said that's, I guess, the way that you would prefer to go.
Right.
How did you transition from doing poetry into rap? I meant to ask this when you said it then, but we got
right.
Yeah.
Back when I was in Texas, when I told you I first got into recording.
Yes.
Like, cause I would always be at this time in my brother's house. I always used to be by myself, you know, chilling. And they used to always go to the studio, and they would play a lot in the studio though. So I think that's another reason why I never went. And one day they was just like, come with us to the studio. And I'm like, I ain't never been to no studio. So in my mind, I'm thinking we going to, you know, the big studio with the big board and screen. They take me to the crib.
Oh.
And we recorded in the closet.
But they calling it the studio.
Yeah, they called it the studio. I mean, when I say this was some, oh man, I can't think of the movie. I know you know what I'm talking about.
I was just gonna say Love and Hip Hop. I know that's not it though.
No.
We know the movie.
Yeah,
Taraji and
So
Hard Out Here for a Pimp. That's not the name of the movie. But yes, yes.
But that's exactly how it was. I'm like, dang, like literally, like with the covers hanging up, and they had a mattress and like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I got in there and I'm like, man, what the hell? What I'm doing in this closet with this old mattress? And just got to recording. I couldn't even get out like 2 bars. I kept having do it over. Cause at this time I never heard myself speak. So it's so different.
So weird.
I never heard myself speak.
Even me now, when I have to go back to look at footage, I hate the sound of my voice when it come back to me. I hate it. I hate listening to. It's so strange, but I do. I hate it. But
that's me. That's how I sound.
Right.
They was like, yeah, just keep going. You doing great.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, bro. This
I don't know if that sound right.
This don't sound right.
Yeah.
So it took me, I'll say, at least 6 months to just accept my own voice. And
I can definitely relate.
Yeah, and you know the growth with my music, my voice changed, and
yeah, you find your
I finally found my voice though. But yeah, it was crazy, man. But that's how I started, in the closet with a mattress, and couldn't get out 2 bars. So.
The question was about writing though.
Yeah, and with that also, you know, following that, I was in the booth trying to write a song, and I'm like, I do poetry already. Why is it so hard for me to write with this beat? I don't know. It was a hard transition. It got to the point where I would still just take my notebook and write, and then when I got in the booth, I got in there and trying to read it
and fill it in,
but it was still hard because they were like, you sound like you reading. So I'm like, dang, so I can't write it. Well, I can, but I can't. It was just complicated. It was very complicated, and I freestyle a lot now though, because it just comes to my mind, and you know, in the format of actually writing a song. But the transition, I say I really got the grasp of it when I feel like I had to break it down. Like I started with a hook, and that would still take up a lot of time in recording, because I'm in here just trying to get this hook out. And I was told for years, that's another reason why it took me at least like 2 years to get serious, because I was always told it sound like you in the booth reading, like people can hear that, because it ain't really flowing.
Yeah. So
they were like, you just sound like you reading. It just took practice.
Yeah.
And now I barely write because I don't too much focus on the past. I focus on the now.
Okay. And
it's just easier to talk about the now, even with like speaking on growth from the past though.
Yeah. So do you, and I'm only asking because I'm literally genuinely interested in knowing how that kind of works. So you go in there, you hear a beat, you da 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 da, you know, say your words, you do your rhyme. So then do you listen back to it and write it down then so that you can go back and critique it, or how does that process work? So how do you remember songs? Basically that's what I'm getting to. So, if you just freestyled it, how do you remember it for the next performance?
Okay, so the way I record, I keep doing that. I start with
it's
a hook.
okay. I need to get a new table.
I start with a hook, and I get in there, and you know, whatever comes to mind, I just said, and I hear it back, and say I don't like that third bar, but I like everything else. My producer will just take that bar out, and I just think of something else to plug in right there, and then we'll kind of just do that all the way through my hook, and I honestly would listen to everything that I put together, and I go back and I just said,
talent. I don't know if I could, but
yeah. So that's kind of the way I record.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is. I'm amazed because I thought that they, you know, people who do it that way,
Right.
I thought that they, you know, freestyle it and then they go back and they're like, hey, run that back. Let me, you know, write this down so I could, you know, remember it or.
They might though. You know, everybody different. Everybody different. And oh man, what I was finna say? Oh man, I was finna say something. It might come back to me. It might.
Well, while you dwell on that, I want to give you this time to talk directly to the viewers that we have out there.
Okay.
Let them know exactly where to find you, all your social media handles, what you got coming up in the future really quickly. Just go ahead and talk to them. This is your time.
So y'all can find me on all platforms, starting with Facebook, Red Dinero. That's REDD. Dinero as in money. On Instagram, the official Red Dinero. TikTok, the official Red Dinero. And YouTube as well, the official Red Dinero. I have a couple of upcoming events for the following month, so if you stay tuned, stay tapped in, you'll know everything. It's gonna be a pretty busy, amazing month. So yeah.
I'm excited. I want to thank you for coming through today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No. Listen, and I say this often because it's true, but every person that I invite on the show, I am generally a fan of. Like, I don't, and I'm not saying this to be cocky or nothing like that, but I don't take interview requests normally. I mean, if it's Beyonce, damn right. You know,
Right.
But I don't normally take interview requests. So everybody that I invite, I always want to talk to them about their story. Like, even before today, I knew none of what you shared.
Yeah.
But I knew enough from stalking you socially that you had a good story to tell. And I'm so glad you came. And I'm so glad you shared even more.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better conversation with you.
When you know you hear my music, it's gonna hit different.
It's definitely gonna hit different.
You're gonna be like,
It
I know why she
definitely
said
is.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back to re-listen to some of these songs.
Yeah.
For real. I want to thank. I keep saying that, but seriously, thank you so very much for coming through today.
No problem.
You have been an amazing guest. This has been a great conversation. Oh, I can't wait to stream this episode. I really can't. But to everybody else out there, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, spread the word out. Do all you can do to bring everybody to Please Advise. And until next time, stay tuned. And that is our show.
I'm from the hood, the projects, and I'm from the ghetto. I remember bills like that paper yellow.